I'm Dan.
I'm Locky.
Locky owns Dynamic 4x4 here in Townsville, and today he's going to teach me and you how to do your rear wheel bearings on a 105 series Landcruiser or similar. Went forward driving the other week and noticed that my wheel bearings are loose in the cruiser, so thought it'd be a good opportunity to come in here to Dynamic 4x4, see my mate Locky, if I can find him, and do these wheel bearings. Here he is.
Hey, don't.
Do these wheel bearings and film a bit of a how-to as well, because if I'm honest with you, I've never done wheel bearings before. I got no idea how to do it. So this will be a lesson in how to replace your wheel bearings and seals in, this is a 105 series Landcruiser, a GXL. It's a 1HZ. It's probably relevant to 80 series. I don't know how different it would be with patrols and stuff as well. Like these are floating axles, so I guess it'd be similar concepts to any sort of.
GE patrols, no.
Yeah.
Some GQs, like the early GQs, it will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the patrols, they are more of a pressed bearing, sealed pressed bearing.
Yeah.
But yeah, along the lines of your 75s, HZJ 79s, a lot of your cruisers with solid rear ends. Yeah. They are all floating axles.
Sweet. So, yeah, we're going to run you through how to do this today. It'll be me learning, so I thought it might as well be you guys learning as well. Let's get this up on the hoist, and then we'll see, firstly, how do you know if your bearings are cooked? And then secondly, we'll pull it all out. We do need to pull it out to see if the bearings are actually cooked or if they just need cleaning up and repacking. But we'll find out when we pull it off and get it all out. So how do we actually tell if you've got loose wheel bearings?
So tell if you got your loose wheel bearings, you just go on the top of your tyre and underneath, and you're just wiggling it back and forth. If you feel a bit of movement, or in this case a bit of squeaking at the same time, it is indication that your wheel bearings are either loose or starting to collapse, or even just need repacking.
So which this is kind of doing both. There's a little bit of movement and a little bit of a squeak.
Yeah, there is a little bit of movement, a little bit of a squeak there. 35s, you do want to have a little bit of play. Oh, that's my preference, but that is starting to get a little bit excessive.
Yeah. Let's see what it's like on the other side too.
Yeah. This side's pretty good.
That side's good?
Yeah.
So.
It's got only a fraction of, you can only feel a fraction of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, cool. I didn't think it was that bad. I just thought it's a good opportunity to pull it off and
definitely. It's always
film it and see it done anyway, because I've done the fronts on this. Everything's brand new in the front, and I've not done the back. So I thought, fuck it, let's give it a go, pull it off, and also for me to learn how to do it at the same time. So I'm paying Locky today for me to learn and for you to learn. You're welcome. So step one, drain your diff oil. I've twin locked this, so it's got newly rebuilt diffs in it, and I've done a fair bit of wheeling and some water crossings too, so it'll be a good opportunity to actually see what that oil looks like now. But yeah, step one, drain your diff oil. And another point, always loosen your filler plug first, because the last thing you want to do is drain it all out and find that your filler plug's no good. Oh, look at that.
Beautiful. Because it's obviously got the new locker and everything in there, everything's still breaking in and bedding in.
Yeah.
But that's typical standard. So like even with the new diff, you will still have a break-in, run-in period.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty standard.
So that colour's sweet.
It looks rough, but yeah, obviously because it is a new rebuilt diff for the first service.
You'd expect that?
You would expect it.
Yeah.
It's if it continues, that's when it's okay. There's something going on here.
What do you think is making it that dark colour when I first started pouring it out? Is that water getting in there, or is that just wear on the diff, the new diff setup?
That'll be a little bit of wear on the new diffs, but also there is a little bit of water in there. So when it gets that milky colour, that's the water.
Because that was a bit milky at the start, eh?
Yeah, at the start you could tell there was a little bit of water in there, but
and that could be axle seals, or
could be axle seals. It could be if the breather is letting water in. So if you're doing creek crossings or anything like that, if water's getting in, that's another access point.
Yeah. Cool. Righto. Alright, step two, take the wheels off.
That's fucking taut.
Yeah.
Alright.
Snap. Got it.
There we go. I'll do them up with the torsion bar.
Oh yeah.
It's 110 newton meters, which is
Oh, so you actually use the torque wrench?
yeah, actually use the torque wrench.
Good
yeah.
man. How many people do that? Fucking not many.
Well, I like to think every mechanic place and tyre shop does it, but you know, unfortunately, I have come across a few that don't. But yeah, these I do up at
This is why I like coming here to Dynamic 4x4, because I can trust Locky working on my car. So if you're in Townsville and you need a mechanic you can trust, Locky's your man. Dynamic 4x4 in Garbett.
We're going to take off your brake calipers.
Yep.
We're going to back the handbrake off and remove the disc rotor / handbrake drum.
Yep.
So that
Oh, so we can adjust the handbrake putting it back on too,
we
eh?
can adjust the
Sweet,
handbrake
because she's
back
a little
on.
bit looser now after going
Yeah.
through some mud and water.
Yep. Yeah, well, with these 105s or this style setup and rear brakes on the Cruisers, to adjust the handbrake, you've got to access through here on that little grommet. They are a bit of a pain in the ass to adjust up, but
So it's very similar to the old drum brakes on my Hilux that I had.
yeah, very similar. Obviously, with your drum brakes, it's in the rear.
Yeah.
These on the front.
Yeah.
So take the calipers off. Taking the caliper off now.
Boy, look at all the shit falling out of it.
Yeah, we'll give them a hose out. Actually, while we're here, do you want to do your brakes at the same time?
Yeah, might as well.
Well, I mean, they're starting to get a bit low. I mean, that they're still fine, but if we're already here,
Saves
might as
doing it
well
again.
do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we can do is we can take these discs over to Brake Force. And
Yep.
they can machine them up. Boys over there are really good. Take care of me. So
Sweet.
yeah, we can get them machined up, or if you want, we can go a new set of rotors.
If they've still got enough on them and you think they
Yeah.
can speed machine and good to go, let's just do that.
Easy. So I'm gonna zip tie caliper up, just so that way it's not hanging down, it's not putting any stress on the brake line, but also it keeps it out of our way while we're working.
Yeah, sweet.
Just zip ties, or otherwise if you want to be flash, you can get some steel hooks.
So hot tip, if you're doing this on a hoist, take your handbrake off.
Yeah, and if you're doing it on the ground with jack stands underneath, recommend chocking the front tires.
Yeah.
Pull these drums off, no, rotors, drums.
Yeah.
Pull these off. Knowing our luck, they're probably going to be a bit seized on there, because unfortunately a lot of people don't put any anti-seize or, you know, a bit of grease to just rub around the outside.
Yeah.
So it is very common for these to get stuck on the hub. So we do need to try and get it off without damaging it.
And if that's the case, is it simple as the old
Well, you can
bolt in there trick to push it off?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
put the bolt in there, but obviously first of all what we're going to do is make sure that obviously it's not grabbing, but also these can develop a lip on the inside of the drum. So we're going to back the handbrake right off on the inside first. So if we are jacking it off from the bolts, we're not going to damage anything else behind it if it catches on that lip.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for here?
What I'm looking for here is the handbrake adjuster.
So this is a lesson for me. These, because obviously this 105 Cruiser is disc brake up the front. This is like, it's almost like a hybrid drum sort of thing. So the brake pedal uses a caliper on here, but inside the drum is like pads, like my old Hilux, which I've got old how-to videos on this channel as well. It's just pads inside the drum is both your pedal brake and your handbrake. On this, you've got caliper for the foot brake, and then you've got pads inside that push on the inside of this drum for your handbrake as well. So you can't just grab it and pull it off?
Oh, I mean, you can try, but it's a bit tight.
Copy. So these bolts are going in here. As you tighten them up, it'll push the drum out.
Whatever you do, if you're using the jacking bolts, please don't use a rattle gun on them, because if it does grip up and grab, you will snap the bolt in there, and then you're going to be having a lot of fun getting it back out.
Copy. So just chuck a socket on it.
Yeah, just a socket.
That's still grabbing on the handbrake pads.
Yeah.
So we're going to back it off and then adjust that little cog in that little hole in the drum to loosen up the pads for the handbrake a bit further so that it pulls out easier. So it's down the bottom now.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I thought I was getting on top. It wasn't. So I didn't even.
Oh, you
get
could
to-
see it from when you were looking in there, did you?
Yeah, so when I got it out, I was like, that's embarrassing.
You can actually hear it this time.
Yeah.
There
Well,
you
I
go.
thought I was doing it before, but I was just hitting the spring.
Oh
Like I
man,
said, it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these.
I could use so many analogies for that. You think you're touching the right bit, but it ain't.
Yeah, literally.
There you go, look at that.
Beautiful.
Boom.
That is what happens when you don't back them off all the way.
Handbrake pad adjustment is down the bottom. To back that off, you feel a little cog in there with the screwdriver.
If you have good eyesight and a torch, you might be able to see it a bit better, but...
And which way, just to make it easier for anyone at home doing this, which
So-
way are you turning it, up or down? Oh sorry, is the cog like this or is it like this? It's like this, isn't it?
Nah, so the cog is this way and it's got little teeth on it. So
Okay, so the cog is that way. So
Yeah,
you're turning
so-
it down to undo it?
Yeah, so same as lefty loosey, righty
Yeah.
tighty. Sometimes they are soft
Inverted,
around and
yeah. Because I
but
think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Hilux, my LN107,
yeah, one
I
goes
think
left and the other one goes right to loosen it off, or to tighten it, vice versa.
But on this, they're both the same way. You're pushing those cogs down.
yeah, so I am pushing both of these down.
So if the cog's
Yeah.
that way, you're literally pushing it like anti-clockwise,
yeah, so you're
like
going
you'd undo
up top
anything.
and going up.
Yeah, well, I can actually show that cog on this side, eh? That's the cog there that we're talking about. So pushing it down, while up on this side. Were you pushing it up on this side to loosen it?
Yeah, so I was going from the top and working my way down.
Yeah, so that's clockwise on this side.
Well, it depends on which way you look at it.
That does depend on which way you're looking at it.
Yeah. So if you're looking, so because it's this part here that turns, because that part stays still,
Yeah.
if you're looking at it this way, you're going anti-clockwise, which is
Yeah, copy.
loosening. So same as if you're looking down at a Coke bottle and you're undoing the cap.
Yeah. So that's what happens when the handbrake is loose enough, you just pull it off with your hands. There's that little adjuster there.
I pull the axles out of the axle housing, so that way we can then get access to the hub nut, pull the hub off, and that way we can inspect the wheel bearings.
Cool. They're 14, are they?
Yeah, 14 mil.
So what Locky's just done then is he's got a socket bigger than the 14 to put it over to be able to hit the outside of it, to pop these little collets out.
And whatever you do, try and avoid hitting down on the top, because if you hit down on the top and you mushroom either the hub or the axle face, it's not going to allow the axle to sit firmly and flat against.
Which is what a lot of people do too.
A lot of people do hit the top,
Yeah.
and that's what creates all the mushrooming, and that's when you get oil flicking out from where the gasket goes, and it can cause dramas down the track. I have seen people after that they've done that, they've then snapped their studs. But as soon as they put a new axle in with a nice clean housing, no dramas ever.
Yeah,
after that.
copy. Yeah, so you got these little, like cone, what are they called? Cone collets or cone washers or something?
Yeah, cone collets.
Yeah.
Or retainers, cone retainers.
Sounds good anyway.
Yeah. So a bit tight. They're hard to come out, you know, they're in there good. Proper in the door. I mean, it's a good sign. It means that you aren't going to be breaking when you start doing something.
Yeah, sweet.
Backup plan. It's one that I don't really like doing, but sometimes you gotta.
And what's that?
Just put a nut on the stud, so it's nice and even, and then just hit directly on the stud.
There we go.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to have to do for all of them.
So putting the nut on it just gives it more of a surface area, so you're not going to
it's going to direct the force straight into that stud, and it's going to vibrate.
Fold over the end of the bolt too.
Exactly.
Or stud.
I'm going to put jacking bolts back into this. Same thing. Don't use a rattle gun on the jacking bolts, because if it snaps, you're going to be in for a really fun time.
Yeah, trying to extract the bolt out of it.
Yeah. This way I've got some weight on with the jacks.
And here comes the axle.
Beautiful.
How those splines look.
Yeah, the spines look really healthy. I mean, like they've still got a nice sort of blocked edge on them, which is what you want. When they do get old and do get abused a fair bit, they do start getting into a bit more of a point, and then that's when you get a lot of backlash to your axles.
Yeah.
And it just makes it a bit of a peak to drive.
My mate Troy's just had that drama with his axles. They're all like sharp splines.
Yeah, the sharp spines. Alrighty.
So what are we doing now?
So yeah, that's got movement.
Yeah.
So they could definitely do with a little bit of adjust up, but this side was pretty good. Like a little bit of play isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But especially when you're running big tyres.
But that's more than you want.
But I mean, that's borderline. Like that's very borderline.
Yeah.
Any more than that, you'd want to adjust it up.
Why do you want a little bit of play?
So you want a little bit of play, obviously, because having big wheels, if you adjust them right up to where they have no play whatsoever, you're going to burn your bearings out.
Yeah.
Because obviously these are quite a small bearing. They were never meant to carry or be rolling around 35s. That's why it's like a 33 maximum usually.
Yeah.
33, you'd want to have them nice and tight. 35s, leave them a little bit loose, because that way, the bigger the tyres are, obviously trying to balance them, it's going to be an absolute prick. But it takes a little bit of load off the bearing.
Yeah.
And just makes them last a bit longer.
So what are you doing now?
So now, you've just got to pull out the adjuster ring locking tabs, the locking screws.
Yep.
And once we do that, we'll be able to pull it all out. So it does help if you do have one of these. Try and get one of these if you can.
What's this?
So this is just an impact driver.
Oh yeah.
The reason why you want one of these is because it'll stop you from rounding off the head, because these are bloody tight.
Copy. That's one thing I'll do. I'll film it at the end, but chuck it at the start of this video, is all the tools that you're going to need to do this job.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this will be something I'm doing, is putting together a list of the stuff that I should have in my drawers at all times to do this sort of shit on the tracks.
Yeah. So now that we got them cracked with the impact driver, we can pull these locking screws out for the wheel bearing adjustment. And that grease is a bit burnt too.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's looking pretty black, pretty brown, burnt. This tool here is
Something else you're 100% going to need to do the job?
You don't 100% need it, but to do it correctly and the right way and to make your life easier, it does help.
And what's it called?
So this here is just a Toyota rear wheel bearing nut tool.
Yeah.
I don't know its Toyota's specific name for it.
54 mil, is it? Like, isn't there a socket?
No, yeah, so there's a socket which is for the front of these, which run a hex style nut. As these, when I pull it out, you'll see it's just completely round, and then they've got 3 little holes in there, which is like that.
Yeah.
So that way you can tighten and loosen.
Like so.
Yep.
So you don't even need
No.
anything on the end of it. They're just finger tight.
Not so much exactly finger tight. I mean, like I said, this was a little bit looser than what you'd want. But yeah, usually you'd want it to the point where if you are taking it off, you want the sort of adjustment where you can't do it by your fingers and you need to have a ratchet hooked up just to give that little bit of extra weight. And
so that was too loose?
That was a bit too loose,
yeah.
So that there is your adjusting nut, and it's got all your little thread holes for the locking screws.
So you can put your locking screws in any of those, eh?
Yeah.
Well, it has to line up with...
Yeah, so it's got to line up with these in here.
Yeah, copy.
So.
But it's giving you plenty of options.
Yeah, exactly. So with that now, you'll be able to just pull that off.
So that's the hub straight off.
Yep, so that there is your locator for your locking ring. So obviously once it goes on, that sits in that groove there, and then your adjusting nut then goes on. And then your screws go through your adjusting nut into your locking tab at the back.
Copy. I just realised this video is, it seems to be quite dark under there, so hopefully you've been able to see everything so far. I might see if we can chuck this up here somewhere to make it a bit lighter.
Your bearings are looking pretty good, bro.
Are they?
Yeah, we can repack them.
Does that look alright?
Yeah, they look good. So usually with your bearings, what you want them to look for is, what I'll do is I'll grab a rag just so I can clean it off so it's a bit nicer to see.
I'll come around this way so the light's a bit better because that roller door.
Yeah, so what you sort of want to look for when you're looking at your bearings to see if they are fine to repack is on your actual rollers themselves.
Yep.
If they start getting any pitting or anything like that, just throw them straight.
Pitting is marks on it,
Yeah,
right?
pitting is like your marks or indentations or divots.
Yep.
As soon as it starts doing that, it means the hard facing is coming off the rollers, and that's going to create noisy wheel bearings. It's then going to kill the grease a lot quicker, and it's just going to fail on you if you were to reuse it. So honestly, best bet is to just replace them. But as you can see, these ones here, they look like they have definitely been done at some stage. I doubt that these are 20-year-old bearings.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no rusting on the outer casing. All the rollers look fine. No
Could do with some grease by the looks of it. That's a bit too clean, isn't it?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do a real good cleanup of all the bearings, get all the old grease out, and then repack them with new wheel bearing grease.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
You're one of those fancy electronic ones, or you do it by hand?
Nah, well, I've got a little tool there where I can push down and it pops it out.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll do one side with that tool. So if people want to go out and buy it and see how much easier and cleaner it is, they can do that. But if they don't want to go out and buy a tool, we'll show them how to pack it by hand.
Sick. Get my money's worth for us today, eh, lads?
And one other thing we'll check is we'll just wipe all the old grease off the old spindle. Make sure that there's no damage on the spindle itself.
I need something. Where's the magnet on this? Ah, copy. There we go. Yeah, that's better.
A bit better.
Sorry if the light's been shit up until this point. I'll try and brighten it in the edit, but...
It's a bit of a gloomy day outside.
Oh, it's just the glare from the doors I think will do it. That's alright. I'll brighten it up in the post-edit. So how's that spindle looking? It's all good,
the spindle's looking good.
I remember I had to replace the spindle on my Hilux once. There was a few grooves in it.
Yep. Yeah, so obviously you know yourself what you'd be looking at if you're looking for a damaged spindle, but for those that don't know, you're wanting to look at your contact area where your hub seal runs on, make sure there's no extreme or hard grooving inside there, because if it is, then obviously your hub seals aren't going to seal properly and it's just going to leak out grease out the back, which is then going to cover all this in grease and your handbrake is just going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And then you obviously want to look for any rust, and same thing again, any pitting. If there is a little bit of surface rust, you can clean it up with a bit of a scour pad and a bit of degreaser or penetrant. Clean it up, and then obviously when you repack your bearings, make sure you repack them all properly.
Wait, Troy! How you going?
What's going on?
I just recorded a whole bit. Well, I didn't actually, because I didn't hit record. So we just pulled the driver side rear axle out and ripped the hub off and checked the bearing. Bearing's actually pretty good. It was a bit dirty. It was loose, so it does definitely need tightening up when we put it back in there. What else did we cover that I forgot to hit record?
Axle seals.
Yeah, let me flick this around. That little tiny flimsy bit of condom rubber in there, that's the rear axle seal, which, this is my first time looking at all this sort of stuff in this. I've you know, this is a new car for me, still kind of new. My old Hilux, I sold that and bought this. All the axle seals on the Hilux are different to this. I'm used to the bigger face axle seals with the little spring in the back of it, but that tiny little bit there, that bit of rubber, that's the axle seal there. So the bearing's pretty good.
Yeah, bearing's pretty good.
We're just gonna clean that up and repack the grease in it. Axle's fine.
Yeah, axle's fine.
The mating face of the axle seal is all good, so no need to worry about any of that. And now we are going to
we'll take these rotors down and get them machined up.
Get these machined.
Get all new seals and gaskets.
And put everything in the hot wash, you said too?
Yeah, we'll chuck everything in the hot wash so that way it's all nice and clean. Obviously, if you don't have a hot wash at home, just use a bucket of kerosene or diluted degreaser. Obviously, wear gloves while you're doing it, or otherwise it's going to sting if you have any cuts, but also safety first. But yeah, just want to get all the old grease out and then give everything a real good clean up.
Cool. So another thing we discussed too that I obviously didn't hit record was that this whole procedure of checking bearings should be like a relatively common thing running bigger tyres, especially if you're doing some off-roading with them as well. So it's good for me to learn how to adjust them, all that sort of stuff, because it's probably something I'm going to have to do myself, and next time I can do it myself. So and hopefully you can too. Not
just that, as well as Toyota also recommend every 40,000 kilometres to repack your wheel bearings. So like your VDJ 79s, in the service schedule, every 40,000 kilometres repack your wheel bearings. So even with the older Toyotas, if they're doing it on the newer Toyotas, probably should do it on the older Toyotas too.
100%. Probably more so on the older ones actually, to keep them running nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So we'll go do everything we need to do now, and we'll come back and it'll be done, and then it'll be a matter of packing the bearings and putting it all back together. So you're pulling all the old grease out of the hub?
Just trying to get all the old grease out of the hub, just so it's not putting everything through the hot wash. That way we can dispose of the grease properly. But, as you can see, that grease is pretty burnt. But probably should be wearing gloves, make it a bit neater and nicer to work with, but well, we're here now.
I've seen you do worse things with those fingers, boy.
Oh, you know me too well. Alrighty, now we'll knock this bearing and seal out.
So there's another bearing in there too?
Yeah, so this is your backside bearing.
Copy.
So actually, it's probably worth recording that. With this, probably better use like a bit of cut down broom handle or something like that, wood or something preferably, unless if you've done it a few times and you know what you're doing. But to knock these back bearings out on the hubs, you're also going to
show me where it is.
Yeah, so this here is your bearing in the backside of the hub, and then this is your hub seal. So we're going to be knocking the back bearing and the seal out at the same time.
And so you can knock that out and reuse it.
The seal you can't. Well, you can if you are careful enough, but I don't recommend it.
Just do new seals.
Just do new seals.
Yeah, so
I mean, seals, you can get seal kits for these for a very decent price.
Yeah.
So just getting new ones.
What was I going to ask? Is it possible that we pull these rear bearings out and they're actually not great?
They could be, but usually the bearings that go first are the outside bearings.
Copy.
The reason why the outside bearings usually go first is it's usually the first to get contaminated with water and so on and so forth, and also they are the smaller bearing, which is going to see a lot more dramas.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Alrighty, so to knock them out, it's pretty easy. You can just lay these on their side. Like I said, try and use a bit of a wooden punch, but we're just going to use a steel one because we know where we want to hit it, which is just on the inner race on the large steel part. It's a bit hard to see.
So you're going from the front into the back?
Yeah, front into the back.
Yeah.
And then with that, just want to give them a bit of a couple of love taps. And then you kind of want to work a way around it. You don't want to just keep hitting one spot continuously.
So it's pushing it out evenly?
Yeah.
And you say about recommending using wood because it's softer?
Yeah, it is softer. If it is your first time and you want to reuse your bearings, use wood just in case, so that way you don't damage the outer race if you're not too sure where you're hitting. But once we get it out, I'll give you a bit more of a better show. So this is the rear bearing that's popped out the back now. So when you are hitting it, if you don't have a broom handle or the missus or mum won't let you cut down a mop handle or something like that.
Yeah.
If you are using a steel punch, or a brass punch, try and hit on this edge here.
Yep.
Because if you hit the outside, then obviously, yeah, you're going to be having to replace your bearings.
So where were you hitting just then?
So I was hitting
You
on
hit
this
inside.
in a race.
Yeah, copy. And what can go wrong doing that? Like things to avoid, things to watch for.
Well, that's the thing is the main thing you really want to avoid is hitting the outer race.
Yeah.
Because if you bend and crush that in, you're going to get a lot of whirring noises while you're driving, and it'll also just damage the bearing in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as you hit that inner edge and once you clean it up, inspect it, make sure you haven't damaged the outer race, she's good to go.
Copy. And they look alright too?
Yeah, they look better than the fronts.
Smart.
Yeah, like I said, if the bearings are going to be needing to be replaced, normally I find personally, if the ones on the outside are fine, 80, I'd say a good 98 or 95% of the time, the inner ones are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. One thing that...
And that seal came out with the bearing.
Yeah, so this bearing sits... So this is the back of the hub here. This bearing sits down in there, and then this seal is facing that way. That gets pushed into the hub.
Okay, so naturally when you push the bearing out, that seal comes out as well?
Yeah, exactly. Now these do go in a particular way, which is this side goes down first, so you have your little lip on the facing out of the hub.
Yeah, and then the flat side goes on the bearing.
Yeah, flat side goes on the bearing.
Yep.
If you do put it in the other way, hub's not going to seal properly, you're going to get grease everywhere.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And also another thing as well is when you're cleaning these at home, keep the bearings, the bearings that come out of each side of the hub, make sure you keep those bearings with that hub.
Yeah,
you don't want to be putting left-hand bearings into right-hand bearings or anything like that. Just, it's a good thing to get into the rhythm of, and making sure everything goes back of where it come from.
Makes perfect sense. So this is the bearing packer way of doing it, right?
Yeah, yep. So this is one that I've already got, but you can pick these up at most of the automotive stores like Super Cheap Auto, Repco, all of them places have it. You just top it up with grease. I use the Fuchs grease. I just find that lasts a lot longer and it's just a bit nicer.
Yep.
I've run it in all of my vehicles and use it on all my customers' vehicles, so haven't had any issues. But yeah, so with this,
these are all cleaned up and painted now, looking a lot better than what they were.
Beautiful. And that's full.
So you're going to say with this?
Hey?
You started saying with this.
Oh yeah, so yeah, with this, it's at the moment I know it doesn't look too clean to do, but that's just because I've had to top it up. But yeah, with this, it does make the job a hell of a lot easier and quicker. I use it obviously because time's money, and
that's it.
Money's time. So, but yeah, with this, it is good because you just drop your bearing straight on it. So I've got bearings here. Where did I put my cutters? Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. So we want to do the back bearing first. Straight in on top. Screw them down. And the good thing about this is when you push it down, if you do have any leftover old grease in the bearing, you'll see it all push out.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. And then what I like to do is just obviously because there's still a little bit of old grease there, wipe it away, grab yourself a rag and dispose of it.
That's it, easy as that.
Done. That's your bearing repacked.
Fuck, you'd almost want to carry one of them in the car with you, wouldn't you?
Well, the thing is you can, because I mean if you keep it clean enough, it's something you can put in the back, just maybe put a bit of tape over the cap.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a handy thing to have. Now because we've got that bearing packed, what we'll do is we'll load up the hub full of fresh grease. Make sure you pack it right into that crevice. Obviously, the more grease you can get in there, the better. But obviously, don't go crazy with it. You don't want to be wasting it.
Yep.
Yeah, just get it right up in and around in there. Alright, beautiful. Now we've got that. Have a bit of grease around the outside. Work it in around the rollers. Just try and give it the best chance it can definitely have. And then yeah, drop your backside bearing in. Give it a quick little wipe. And then what we're going to do is put the hub seal in. So we'll go get them now, and
Because you just got new ones, eh?
Yeah. So every time you do them, I recommend replacing the seal. I mean, it's there. They're not too expensive. Better off to just replace them than reuse them.
Yeah.
So
This is hub seal.
yep. So this is your hub seal, brand new one. Now what we're going to do here?
Does it matter about going genuine or anything on these parts as well?
I mean,
or?
it's catch-22. I mean, if you are a genuine person and you feel like genuine is the best quality, sure, no worries. That it's up to everyone's personal preference. Myself, I think for something like this that's going to get maintained regularly or should be maintained regularly, aftermarket's fine, because you don't want to be paying, you know, $50 to $60 per seal.
And they're going to be swapped out every time you want to put a new seal, whether it's genuine or not.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, if it's something more like a rear main seal or a front main seal, something that's going to stay in there a lot longer, 100% go genuine.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like this, aftermarket's perfectly fine.
Cool.
But yeah, just on the inside of this lip of the seal, you want to put a bit of grease, because obviously this is going to be running on the stub axle. So you want to make sure that's well lubricated to make sure that it's not going to burn the seal out, and put grooves into your stub axle. And then that there sits straight in like that. We'll grab a small hammer. So with this, you want to be careful that you don't dent the seal or warp the seal. It is a little bit of a trick to it, but slow and steady. Don't go smashing it, but be firm with it. You just want it to be nice and flat with the hub. That's the hub seal installed.
Sweet.
Flip them over. We'll get rid of all of our tape.
Nice rig. I was talking about cars are right too, I guess. But.
What size is your biggest hole saw?
Ooh, that is a good question. That bearing's packed. Yeah, you just jam them in there.
So that's the front bearing in there now?
Yeah, so that's the front bearing in there now.
So these little springs here come off when we're taking the drum off. So we're just going to chuck them back on before we put it all back together. Why is that one green? Alright, that's way easier than what they were on my Hilux. Just giving them a clean before we put it all back together. This will probably be the cleanest these are going to be until we do this again, because it is wet season here in North Queensland at the moment, and pretty much every time we're going to be going out from here on in, we're going to be getting muddy and wet. This is what we're looking at right now. I don't know if you can see, but surprise, surprise, it's raining in wet season. And it's humid as all hell, that's why we're all greasy and sweaty. Man, these are going to be shiny once you've done that. Look at all that muddy crap coming off.
Yeah.
You obviously don't want to get that
Obviously
in there.
Inside.
Yeah.
Don't feel comfortable hosing it off, just then ragging it.
Look at that. Just like I bought one, eh? You can even see the colour of the springs, man. Far out. By the way, I'm not sure if this video is going to get released on YouTube in time, and whether you will actually watch this in time or not, but on the 29th of January, today is the 15th, so we've got 2 weeks left. We will be closing the draw for our 5 wheels and 5 tyres promotion. We're giving them away to 3 of our members at i4drive.club. So I've got assaults on the cruiser. They look sick. I've got Toyo Open Country tyres, mud terrains. They are mad. So 29th of January, the draw closes. On the 30th, which is a Friday afternoon at 4 p.m, we'll be live over on our Instagram page drawing 3 winners. Now, if you want to enter the draw for that, all you got to do is be a member of i4drive.club. Jump on the website. There's multiple different membership options. You'll get entries. If you're a patch member, you'll get entries into every draw that we run. We do this every month. And this year we're really focusing on doing multiple winners per trade promotion. So for example, last month we gave away 4 twin lock setups. This month we're doing the 3 winners for the 5 wheels and tyres from Bud's Tyres. It's like probably the biggest name in wheels and tyres in Australia currently. He stocks everything. So like assaults, that's baby work for them at Bud's Tyres. It's predominantly like what comes out of his shop is beadlocks. You don't have to get beadlocks, but given that this is probably going to take a few days to release, I'll drop a spoiler for February. Jimmy and myself are going to be going down to Brisbane tomorrow to go to Mike's Shock Shop. Now, if you don't know who Mike's Shock Shop is, you've probably heard of King Shocks. Every single King Shock in Australia comes from Mike's Shock Shop. He sells probably the biggest and best brand names in suspension that you can possibly think of. We're going to be doing a promotion for 3 winners again, $10,000 each to spend at Mike's Shock Shop upgrading their suspension. Now, if you've been following us for a bit, you probably noticed that most of the stuff we give away is stuff that we want. We wanted to twin lock our rigs, so we worked out a deal. We gave away 4 twin lock setups. Jimmy and I got to twin lock our rigs. We had to pay for it. We didn't get it for free. My suspension in this is 23 years old. The only new component in the suspension is the 2-inch coils from Marketplace Special, $200 for 2-inch Old Man Emu coils that basically brand new. They've still got the stickers on them. But the shocks, they're 23 years old. I want to do my suspension. Can't afford it just yet, but that's why we're doing these sort of giveaways for people. $10,000 to spend at Mike's Shock Shop is going to get you some pretty good gear. So if you're watching this before the end of February, the draw will be live for that one. I can't remember the exact date that it closes, but it's like the last Friday of February. We'll be drawing that as well. So we do this every month. If you want to be involved in this or access our club rates, just jump on the website. I'll link it somewhere down here. I don't know how YouTube works yet, but go to www.i4wd.club, spelt like that, and yeah, join the club.
Alright, so now we want to rip our axle seals out. Honestly, just a little flathead screwdriver. They're not crazy tight or anything. Just pop them out.
Boom, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they are. That's all that's stopping your oil from coming out and
that's it.
Going everywhere.
Well, it's a very thin piece of rubber that stops procreation too, isn't it?
That is true. That is true. Hey, small things come in small packages, man.
Good things come in small packages. That's the one. I don't know if you guys can tell, but every time I talk to Locky, I have to put the camera up because this is the height difference. So yes, good things do come in small packages.
And then yeah, with these, they're not, like I said, not super tight. You just pop
literally
them
push it in my hand.
Yeah.
And they've got a seating in there, like you just push it in as far as it goes?
No, so not as far as they go. They will get to a point where you can't push them any further.
Yeah.
I like to see where the old ones are sitting. So when I pull them out, I just push them in that little bit further.
Yeah.
Just that way it's not just
there's like a lip in there too, eh?
There is a lip in there, yeah. But really these here, you just want to be on the edge of that chamfer.
Yeah.
On the stub axle, and that's usually the sweet spot for them.
Sweet.
And then you will rub a little bit of grease on these as well. Just
Yeah.
obviously help premature wear on the seal.
So it's probably a good idea to, if you're doing like a big trip or something, to be carrying these as spares, hey?
100%.
Like if I'm going to be going up to the Cape at the end of this year,
Yeah.
and so I should definitely be taking these with me.
100%.
And downloading this video on YouTube so that I can watch it again.
Yes.
When I've got no reception on the Telegraph track.
Exactly.
Copy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're doing big trips like that, I'm sure it probably wouldn't be a bad idea if you do hey, this is a checklist for my vehicle.
Yeah.
These are some things if you have a vehicle like mine or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, me personally, I'd be taking spare brake pads.
Yep.
Because depending if it's wet season, obviously mud's just going to chew through them.
Yep.
But yeah, seals, like the axle seals, stud kits, wheel studs, bearings, all of that common stuff that's small and can be packed away nice and neatly in your drawers or in your toolbox. They're the crucial spares that you need to get you back home.
But it's also like if you didn't have a spare axle seal, you're fucked. You're going to lose all the oil out of your axle.
Yeah, you're going to, well, if you don't have a spare seal and your seal's destroyed or missing or something like that, yeah, all of your diff oil is just going to shoot out the side. All of your handbrake stuff's going to get coated in oil. Your brakes are going to get coated.
You're not going to get very far.
You're not going to get very far, and not just that, is all the oil's going to flush through the grease that you've just put in your hubs.
Yeah.
Which is, once the oil goes into the grease, you've got to repack it and do it all over again because the grease just washes. The oil just washes all the grease out.
Yeah. Cool, there you go. So, pack some spare axle oil seals.
So as you see, this one is flush from when it's been done previously.
Yep.
So, like I said, what I like to do, just so that way every time you do it, it's not running on the same spot of the axle every time wearing a groove into it.
Yep.
I like to just push them back that tiny little fraction, just so it's got a little bit of new surface to run on the
Copy.
axle.
So, I kind of missed that before. So, when you put the axle seal in, you don't want to put it in exactly the same spot that it was before.
Yeah, well, that's my personal preference.
Copy.
A lot of people do put them back in the same spot.
Yeah.
But just from what I've learnt from my personal experiences is I just push them back in a little bit further, just so that way it wears a new area on the axle.
Yeah.
Which is just a little bit more reassurance that it's not going to be leaking.
Copy. Do you remember which hub's which?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, him in.
Yeah, right. So that ABS bit literally touches the sensor.
Yeah. And that's another thing. If you do have an ABS chopper wheel or ABS sensor ring on your hub, if you are painting your hubs, or
it's not
if you are doing
quite
anything,
touching it.
yeah, it's not quite touching it, but because these do read magnetism reading, try and not get paint on it and try not to damage the chopper wheel or ABS ring, because you will have issues with the ABS afterwards.
Copy. So you've literally just pushed that in as far as it'll let you push it.
Yep.
And it finds home.
Until it finds home, and then you put what we're about to put on now is our locking ring. So your locking ring goes on first. So that there follows the groove inside. Push it back as far as it goes.
And does that matter like which way around it is, or you just push it in?
So it does matter which way around. I'll grab the other one. On some, it really matters. These ones you can change and flip 180, but I do have a preference on which way I put them. So as you can see, there's different...
And it's got that there too.
Yeah, it's got
this
one
here. Does that dictate where it's going to go in?
Yeah, so if you want to see on the other side, see how you've got this channel in here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to go in
copy.
just like that. And so that way when you put your adjusting nut on, that's going to allow it to push all the way up until you're happy with your adjustment. And then you run your screws through, which is going to lock it in, and that stops the adjuster from coming loose.
Copy. That's your adjuster nut?
Yep. Just to speed it up a little bit to just get it to sit down. Alright, so it's touching there now. Now look, it is easier to do it with this. You can use 3 screwdrivers, put it in and adjust it up. It's not the correct way of doing it. It is good to get the correct tools for the right job. Makes it a lot easier and hassle-free. But yeah, so as you'll see, there's 3 indentations where that sits in. And then we can chuck a ratchet on there, tighten it up, and as we tighten it up, we will be rotating the hub and then nipping it up a little bit more, rotating it, nip it up, rotate it, nip it up, back it off, and then just slightly give it a little nip, and that will be the preload set.
Copy. How do you, I'm sure you'll explain it, but how do you know when the preload is set correctly?
So,
is it just a best guess, or
if you
there a science to it?
If you are unsure of what your vehicle's needs to be, some will, if you look at the owner's manual or servicing procedures, or even if you go online and find PDF files of what to do for that, every car is different. Some of them read a Newton meter sort of range. Some literally do tell you to nip it up, rotate, nip up, rotate, and then back off and then nip up again until you have no play in the hub and the hub moves freely. I found that works best for these old rigs, is to nip them up and keep rotating, nipping up until you can't nip it up any further and your hub gets a bit of drag. Back it off and then just give it a slight nip up so your hub spins freely. And then that's perfect for these, especially when you're running your bigger tyres.
Cool.
So that there is max, spins freely. So what we're going to do is now loosen that off slightly and then tighten it back up to where it just grabs a bit, still spins freely, and there is no play that way.
Cool.
Beautiful.
And then as for those locking screws,
Yep.
they've got to line up in here somewhere.
They do.
So what if they don't?
So if they don't, that's when you will have to either
Tighten or
back it
loosen?
off. If you can back it off a little bit, you can.
It looks like it will though.
Yeah.
Looks like it will perfectly. I don't know if anyone can see that, but oh, you can see it pretty good. Looks like those holes are matching up.
Yeah. So that one there is grabbing a little bit before it even gets through. So best way to tell with these as well is where you have these little marks on these cruisers.
Yeah, yeah.
You want your nut, your locking nut hole to locate with these
Okay,
little
so we're gonna have to adjust
cutouts.
it.
Yeah, so we will adjust it a little bit more. With
So
that one, I reckon we
just
can.
to point out, you've got a little indent there, one there, one there, and one there.
Yep.
It's like Locky was just saying, we want to get those that locking nut hole to line up with that little indent.
Yeah. So if you're putting these locking screws in and it lines up but it hasn't gone all the way through,
Yeah.
it just means that
It's just pushing on the end.
it's just pushing on the plate and it's
Yeah.
not going through the locking nut hole.
Copy.
So yeah,
So would you always loosen instead of tighten to make them fit?
it's one of the things. It really depends on the feel. I mean, it's one of the things like when you do it so often, you can kind of get a feel for it. I prefer to tighten it.
Yeah.
But if it's to the point where it is quite tight and you're getting to the point of you can't really tighten anymore, then
Too
back
tight.
it off and then
Yeah.
then
Because that's
then back it out.
gonna move a little bit to line up.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
So with this one, we can probably nip it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just because obviously it's going to be a lot closer to reach to this one and this one than it is
then-
for these
oh,
to
yeah,
reach.
100%. That makes sense.
So
Hopefully, I'm asking the dumb questions that some people watching this are probably thinking. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as a dumb question, just a dumb answer.
well, at the end of the day, it's always better to ask someone that can have a bit more insight
100%.
than someone that doesn't know at all.
It's almost lined up perfectly. See how that goes, eh? So you did them up with the... Is that going in? Yeah?
Yeah. So it is still a little bit on the offside.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll just sit them in there. Give that a little bit of a rotate. And just give them a slight fraction. So they can be a little bit of a niggly thing to do.
Well, I mean,
But-
going tighter is really the only option here. Otherwise, you have to go heaps looser.
Yeah, heaps
to line it
looser.
up.
Yeah, so it's one of the things where common sense really does come into play for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, as you can see, that's just going straight
It's
in
going
now.
home way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as you can see, lines directly up with the screw.
It's actually off just a little bit, unless it's just this angle.
Oh, it may be off a fraction, but yeah, with these, you do want to make sure they're tight. And this is where it does come in hand, having a impact driver with your Phillips bits, because while you do them up hand tight, you can always get them that nipped up that little bit extra.
Yeah.
And
And you want these to be tight, right?
you do want these to be tight, because if these come loose, then it's just all going to come loose and your wheels.
Because that's what's holding your hub on, right?
Correct.
And the hub's what's holding the axles in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with these, obviously, if you're unsure on how these work, they have a loosen
Yep.
and then they have a tighten.
Yeah.
Now, if you go into the tighten direction and you hit this, what it does is it almost acts like a ratchet in a way. So as
Yeah.
it hits down, it's forcing everything to go forward, and it's also going to rotate the tip.
Yeah.
So that's going to stop the head from stripping, and it's also going to nip it up that little bit extra that you can't do by hand.
So you're going as tight as you can by hand and then giving it a tap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually just one, and that's usually more than enough. So that's as much as I can do by hand.
Yep. Yeah, you see how much that turned when you hit
Yeah.
it.
And that's more than enough. That's all it's going to need.
Copy. So you recommend having one of these in the toolkit too, eh?
100%.
Yeah. You just get them from Repco, super
Yeah,
cheap.
you can get them from Repco,
or
so cheap.
whatever equivalent you in whatever
Yeah.
country you're watching this in. Just cleaning up where the old gasket was, eh?
Yeah, just so that way it seals 100% or as best as it can. I was lucky enough that I'll have spare gaskets upstairs, so I'll quickly
true.
run up there and grab them.
Uh,
And these gaskets are always good to have as well as backups, because this is what's going to help stop any water and stuff getting in through your axle seals.
Yeah.
Because obviously anything that doesn't seal properly, it's going to let water in if you are doing water crossings.
Yeah.
So you can go out and buy the flashest of the flashest diff breathers, but at the end of the day, that's not the only entry or point where water can get in.
Yeah.
You've got a seal here, which is the axle. If that's not sealed correctly or not sealing at all, you're one, going to get oil residue out, but you're also going to get water in. And the same goes for the hub seal up at the back. That's also another entry point of water getting in, so that's why it's always best to just replace it with a new seal if you are going this far into it.
Yep.
Or if you are redoing your bearings or anything, just replace the seal.
Copy. They're fairly inexpensive too, eh?
Yeah. You can just put your seal on, that's how they are. Oh, sorry, your gasket. You can put your gasket on dry, that's how they do it genuine. I'm not a fan of just doing that. I like to take that little extra step. So if you are at home and you don't really want to duck out to the shops, or it is your daily driver and you can't drive to the shops, I'll show you what I use just as a little bit of extra security. Maybe I'm gonna have to go out and go get some.
Oh, really? What is it?
It is aviation liquid sealant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's like a black tar, and that there is just amazing for just helping one, fill in any little pockets where if you do have surfaces that are a little bit rough and it doesn't quite seal correctly,
yeah,
it just helps a little bit more of an extra sealant sort of thing, and it stays wet as well, so it's not something that goes hard and like extremely hard straight away, and it's not like a silicone. So it is specifically made for gaskets for paper.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just really helps the process of making sure you do get the best
good
quality
seal.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look who comes crawling back, eh? Crawling back, asking for more. Hey, hey.
It's usually you.
Yeah, I know.
You four-wheel drive, four-wheel drive guys are just crawling back asking for more.
I know. Can you give me a discount? Righto. So got the rotors.
Yep.
Got the stuff that you hyped up real good.
Yep.
That you turned out you didn't have.
Yeah, I know. How fucking embarrassing is that?
Nah, joking. I edited it out. And look at these bad boys. They're fresh. Fresh machine surface. And this is going to create an extra good seal for the gasket. Looks like poo.
It does, but it is fucking wonderful stuff. I put this on the water pump gaskets, everything.
Copy.
And never ever have dramas.
Does it make it difficult getting it off or not?
It will. So if you ever pull it off again, you'll have to have a wire brush.
Yeah.
Or a razor blade.
Yeah.
To get it off. But if you're having to do that, then it's obviously doing its job.
It's either going to be me or you doing it, so.
That is a good point.
You put it on both sides, eh?
Yep, both sides.
Give us a look at the bottle, just for those at home watching.
Oop, it's a bit messy, but...
Permatex Aviation Form A Gasket Sealant Liquid. There you go.
And it is fucking awesome shit. Super messy, but it's definitely worth it.
So is there anything to be aware of putting that back in there, or?
So yeah, putting it back in, honestly, you just want to make sure that you just don't damage that axle seal.
Yeah.
So just be careful with it, take your time.
So when you were pushing it in there and you weren't kind of letting it rest on it and drag it across it?
Yeah, try not to let it rest and drag on it. Might need to give it a little wiggle, but they are a bit of a pain to fucking get in.
And that's lining up the teeth, right?
Yeah, lining up the teeth.
The splines on the end of the axle?
Yeah. Sometimes you do need to give it a little bit of a tap, but whatever you do, don't go belting it, but just a bit of... So close. Let's go 180.
There we go.
Probably. Now that we've got that on there, we can now chuck the cone washers on. And after that, it's the spring washers.
So is it to be expected that these will, like I had to do with the front, I got the bearings done in the front and then I had to like retighten them after driving for a bit?
Yeah, so after 1,000 kilometres or so, or even 500 kilometres, being bigger tyres, it's always good to jack it up, check it. If it does have a bit of play, then yeah, just pull the axle back out and just give them a little nip up. The rears aren't as bad as the fronts. The fronts are usually the ones that do need a lot more nipping up than usual.
Yeah.
So obviously that's getting all the steering and all that, so it's getting multiple different loads put on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rears are usually pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll get the torque.
So how many newton meters you got to put on that?
So I do them to 85 newton meters.
Yeah. Doing 2 jobs at once here.
Tape off all the studs.
So next bit is readjust the handbrake.
Yep. And to adjust this, we want to nip it all the way up until we can't move the rotor, and then back it off until we can just move it.
Copy.
So you can't move it.
So that's tight.
Yep. Back it off. Move it again. Perfect.
So now brake pads.
The old brake pads, yep.
That's just a matter of grabbing them and ripping them out, is it?
Yeah. Well, usually. There we go. Beautiful. As you can see, starting to get a little bit low.
Pushing the piston back.
Yeah.
And you can just grab that with pliers and it's good to squeeze it.
Yeah. Hey, we got some drums here, Ross.
What's wrong?
Something that we didn't pick up on before.
What?
Your caliper pins are a bit stuck, so we're gonna have to take the slides off. Over getting hot and cold all the time, these here should have a ceramic grease on them.
Yeah.
As you can see, she's
bone dry.
Bone dry, so she was actually a bit stuck in there, which was making it hard for the slides to come in and out, which is also going to cause a lot more brake wear, and your braking won't be as effective as.
That's just as simple as pulling them out and greasing them up.
Pulling them out, greasing them up. Sometimes they can, if they are really seized in there, they can be a real pain, but they're not too bad. This was just sticky enough to where it was hard to get in and out.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit better. But while it's out, we can push the piston back. You can get the proper tools, ratcheting tools to push the pistons back, but
This does the job.
yeah. Slow and steady.
And that's so you can fit the pad back in, eh?
Yeah, that's so you can run the new pads. And it's all pushed back.
So you just put a bit more stuff on it?
Yep. Give them a wipe down and put some new ceramic grease. The stuff you want to use.
Pads, mate, they're way thicker than what come off it. So
Yeah.
that's what you
So
put on the pinion bolts, is it?
On the brake caliper slide pins.
Slide pins.
Yep,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you only use the ceramic stuff.
Yep.
If you use normal grease, it's just gonna be
Make a big
shit
mess.
everywhere. Well, grease melts under high heat and brakes obviously get hot.
Yeah.
So you want to use the proper stuff.
So you just slide them in, easy as that?
Yep, easy as that. And then put these back on. Your pins are clean. They are really bad. Use a bit of emery tape or sandpaper and clean them up a bit better.
If they're real dirty.
If
and
they're
you take
really
them out.
bad
Yeah.
and pitted. But yeah, and then the bottom one. Another way to tell straight away if your slide pins are seized or if your the pot in your caliper is seized is generally you'll usually have one pad worn a lot more than the other.
Yeah.
So that's a really good way of telling.
So overall, just based on that, the brake should operate even better now with new pins and greased up pins.
It should definitely feel a lot
New
nicer.
pads, I mean, so. And is there a torque that you're putting these up to? You're just tightening them?
Honestly, these
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
Tight's good. Like obviously it's pretty decent size ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put some good oomph into it.
Yeah.
That's all you'll need. You don't want to over tighten them because otherwise it's just going to be an absolute prick when you got to replace your pads again. But yeah, obviously just make sure you tighten them up. Don't leave them loose.
Man, did you do that top one as well?
Yeah, top one's done.
You did.
Beautiful. Make sure you put your adjuster bung back in so that way you don't get any extra dirt in there that doesn't need to be in there.
Yep.
And now this side is complete. We can put the wheel assembly back on this side and jump onto the other side.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, muscles. Oh, up you get.
I'll tell you what, these fucking nice flash rims, they're bloody heavy. Probably doesn't help that.
The rim, I don't think the rims are that heavy, bro.
rims aren't
It's the
heavy,
tire, eh?
It's the rubber around it.
Yeah. The 33 inches. That's it. She's all buttoned up, eh? Just about.
Yeah, just
Do you do these up with a torque wrench, do you?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah?
Gotta, every time you take a wheel off, always putting it back on.
That gives me so much peace of mind knowing that when I take my car home from here, my fucking wheel's not going to come off, eh?
Yeah, nah. Every time we take a wheel off and put it back on, always gets torqued back
I'll be
on.
honest, bro, you've surprised me a little bit today because obviously you've done a lot of work for me, but a lot of it I haven't been here with you
And watching and
doing
all that
it.
little stuff.
So some of these little steps you've done today, I'm like, fucking go on, lad.
Is that my pay grade?
Same gist for the other side. Won't
Yeah.
film the other side heaps because we do need to move with a bit of boogie now because I've got to head off soon. Hopefully this is going to help you guys do this job if ever you need to do it. It definitely is going to help me do it again. Again, whole reason I did this video is because I've never done it before. I'm not a mechanic and I didn't grow up, you know, breathing vehicles, breathing cars, breathing four-wheel drives. So I'm still learning heaps of this shit myself, and I'll keep doing videos like this with people like Locky helping us out and actually showing people how to do things, because you know we do have some pretty remote plans for this year and next, and so the more stuff that I can learn to do for my vehicle myself, kind of safer and more peace of mind I'll have, sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully this has helped you. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I might not be able to answer them, but if you have a question and I can't answer it, I'll hit up Locky and get him to answer it for us.